Greetings, friends, and welcome to the woods. Today, I want to talk a little bit about your spiritual anatomy, that which makes your spiritual abilities possible. In particular, two very important glands that are adjacent to the brain, two different parts of your head that very specifically receives and conducts spiritual energy. The one is the pineal gland. The pineal gland rests more toward the back of your head, in between the two parts of the brain, the right and left part of the brain. It brings the two together, and it's associated with this energy center, your crown energy center. And that is where you receive the power and the message from Source, from your connection to Source, from your oversoul, that part of you that is timeless, that part of you that you are a part of, a ray of that larger self that is directly connected to Source. Your pineal gland, that's where you receive ideas, messages, energy, assistance. However, our farmers, knowing that we would reach a greater ability to receive from Source and to project, to create our reality, devised a number of ways to inhibit us so that the function of that gland would be less powerful. There are things in our food and in our water and in what we breathe that break down its function. Now, you know what happens, those of you who work in the cyber world or utilize the cyber world, what happens when you have perfectly good software but broken hardware? In other words, when you have a computer that can't run the software that you want to put on it, or can't stream the videos, or can't interface with the internet, the World Wide Web, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the software. Sometimes the computer is just not up to the job. This physical body, metaphorically, symbolically, is like that computer. When it's maintained well and it's upgraded and it's running, you can do all sorts of things with it. But if you don't maintain it, if you let it get bogged down with viruses, buggy programs, if you try to do too much with it, if you don't take care of it, it's the same with us. You got to take care of your physical body so that your spirit can operate through it very effectively. The pineal gland is one of those things. Now, you probably have heard, or maybe you haven't, that there are a number of things that calcify the pineal gland. When the pineal gland is encased in calcium, when it's petrified, it ceases to function as your connection to Source, to function effectively. And that will happen. One of the most effective ways to shut down your pineal gland is fluoride. You know, the stuff they put in your water because it's supposed to help your teeth. The stuff they put in your toothpaste that you wind up absorbing into your body and swallowing some of, which is supposed to help your teeth, which in all actuality is detrimental to your teeth and your bones. Yes, if you topically put it on your teeth, it could kill some bacteria, but you could topically put on all sorts of poisons on your teeth and have the same effect. And there are things that work much better than fluoride for killing the bacteria on your teeth that won't harm your bones. But those things may not be as effective at breaking down the functionality of your pineal gland, so you need to have fluoride, right? There are ways that you can decalcify it. And you can look that up. The point I want to make is that the pineal gland is what allows you to hear your source, hear the divine presence, to receive messages, to receive energy. And there are things that shut it down, so that you don't get all that noise that just is so annoying and makes you so anxious. You know what has a lot of fluoride in it? A lot of our mood-altering pharmaceuticals or antidepressants. Strong fluoride base. It gets rid of those pesky voices and feelings and, you know, the stuff from the outside world that's just so disturbing. It shuts down your antenna to source. So you don't have to hear that anymore. You can just live in this world that the farmers have created for you and be a good little cog in the wheel. It's a lot easier when you don't have to hear all that stuff. It can make you sad, it can make you anxious, it can overwhelm you, and then everything shuts down and you get depressed. But you know, the day's coming when we're going to have control of our world. And the incoming that you receive from Source isn't going to be so anxiety producing or depressing or overwhelming. It's going to be blissful. And you may want that antenna back. And there are all sorts of ways to achieve that. But first, you have to know that the pineal gland is there and what it does. It's your connection to Source in the physical. Now, the pituitary, another gland, it's behind the nose, connected to the brain. It's one of those things that you can mess up really easily if you snort things. And part of the reason that snorting things gets you so high is because it's affecting the pituitary gland. And the pituitary gland is what you use to create the reality around you. If the pineal gland is how you hear Source and pull energy in from Source, the pituitary gland is where you express. It's the third eye, the energy that goes out from you. The crown pulls energy in from Source, and the third eye creates your reality. The energy goes out. If you want to be effective in making your world be the way you want it to be, you want this to function. So that the things that you do to break it down, why don't you rethink that a little bit? And there are all sorts of things in our food and in our water and in our air that interferes with its frequency and breaks it down. And we are all learning how to reverse that problem, how to undo it. And it's a good thing too, because the day is coming, and fairly soon, when we are going to want to take control of our world. In fact, it's already happening. And welcome to the woods.